Hello, I'm Riduta Kikutami. Today, I'm going to talk about the 7 tips on how to be liked by others from the Buddhism point of view. What can we do to be liked by others? Buddhism tells us to be a giver. People like givers, but they would hate takers. People like givers who treat you to things or give helpful information. But takers take away time, money, and a lot of things from others. That would make people want to keep a distance from those takers, and eventually they would be hated. So a trick to being liked is to be a giver. But we must have something to give if we want to be a giver. With money, we can afford many things like treating people to foods, offering gifts, or hiring someone. People approach a person like that. And a person with some DIY or computer skills who can help others is adored and looked up to. And also someone with magic trick skills or funny comedy storytellers who can entertain people are popular. And also a knowledgeable person. I would really appreciate it if someone could give me some appropriate advice or useful information so that I don't make a loss. People would want to get to know a person like that. So we could say that people would gather around givers who have something to give to others. But someone might say they don't have anything useful to give. They say they don't have money, useful knowledge, or any skill to entertain people. There seem to be quite a few people who think that they can never be liked by anybody as they don't have anything to give. But the Shakyamuni Buddha teaches 7 easy tips on how anyone who might not have any of those skills and knowledge can be liked by others. He says there are 7 things anyone can give to others right now. Today, I'm going to talk about one of the Buddhist teachings about the 7 tips on how to be liked by others, as well as 7 things that anybody can give to others. Here are today's contents. First, Gense, the gift of a kindly gaze. Second, Wagen Ace Shokusei, the gift of a peaceful, friendly look. Third, Ganjisei, the gift of kind speech. Fourth, Shinsei, giving through the body. Fifth, Shinsei, the gift of the heart. Sixth, Shosasei, giving one's place to others. Seventh, Boshasei, the gift of shelter. They are the 7 tips. These 7 deeds are also called 7 types of non-material giving. By material here, I mean those knowledge and skill that I mentioned earlier. The Buddha teaches that without them, you can still give 7 things to people. This teaching is also mentioned in the Buddhist sutra called the Storehouse of Sundry Valuables. Today, I'm going to tell you all the 7 tips one by one. Gense, the gift of a kindly gaze. The first one is Gense. This literally means to give your kindly gaze. To give your kindly gaze here means to communicate or interact with someone with kind and friendly eyes. I know some books that say your physical appearance shows 90% of what you are. The first impressions are a big deal. Especially your face is very important when it comes to the first impression. And the most important part is your eyes. That's because your eyes reflect your mind. As they say that the eyes say more than the mouth, or the eyes are the window to the soul, your eyes tell your emotions and thoughts. So what's in your mind shows up in your eyes. Sometimes you see people laughing, but their eyes not smiling. So even when you have fake smiles, they can tell your eyes are not smiling. There are hundreds of phrases or expressions related to eyes in Japanese language, but I will name several of them here. I just wrote some of them. Eyes are not smiling. Sharpen eyes, meaning focusing on something. Eyes that squat or sit, meaning glazed look in one's eyes or emotionless, cold eyes. Angry, blaming eyes. Shifty eyes. Pity eyes. Determined eyes. Heart eyes. There are so many phrases related to the word eyes that express states of one's mind. Our eyes reflect our minds. So we can say that communicating with someone with kind eyes means communicating with them with a kind heart. But this doesn't mean you should act and put on kind-looking eyes. Gensei means you should communicate with a kind heart because your eyes show the states of your mind. Wagen Ishoku Sei, the gift of a peaceful, friendly look. The second tip is Wagen Eishok Sei, the gift of a peaceful, friendly look. Wagen means a smiling face. Eishoku also means smile. This means giving people your smile. You can make people happy by only moving muscles around your eyes and mouth a little bit. You don't need money or anything for that. And it requires almost no calories or energy. Only moving muscles a bit makes people happy. A smile is such an act of giving. Everyone can give their smile to others. You could smile even if you had nothing. In Japan, there was a smile for 0 yen on a menu at McDonald's. I'm not sure if they still have that. Anyway, we can give smiles to people for free. This is Wagen Ishoku Sei in Buddhism. Humans will get old, and they get ill. They get in a hospital and can't move their bodies as they used to. And there seem to be quite a few patients who get frustrated and take it out on nurses. I heard many nurses quit their jobs because of work-related stress. And the most significant cause of stress is patients' attitude towards nurses. Patients with grumpy faces would blame and insult nurses. I understand why the patients suffer and feel frustrated because things do not go the way it used to be. But the nurses get stressed out and think of quitting their jobs because patients take it all out on them. I think it requires a strong will and a lot of hard work to be a nurse. Many of such committed people quit their jobs because of patients' unkind words and negative attitudes. Conversely, it's also patients that make nurses feel cheered up and want to continue their jobs. When the patients say that they thank nurses from the bottom of their hearts and always appreciate their care and attention, the nurses regain their self-esteem and feel like continuing their jobs. Even if your body doesn't move or you are sick or you don't have anything, you can tell someone who looks after you that you always thank them with a smile on your face. This will make them feel very happy. So if you have a grumpy face and complain all the time, people would go away from you. But if you communicate with a kind expression and smile on your face and say thank you, people gather around you. You can smile even if you can't move your body or you are sick. You only need to try to make it a habit. A smile has such a great power that it makes people feel happy and empowered. When you fail big and are very frustrated, you might feel like everybody looks at you with the scornful eyes. But you would feel better and stronger after somebody talks to you with a kind face and smile. So, smiling at others is a wonderful act of giving. Gonji Sei, the gift of kind speech. The third one is Gonji Sei, meaning the gift of kind speech. Often someone's words make us happy more than anything. When I had a meal with a friend of mine who had retired, he said that his colleague had said, "I want to be a boss like you." He said that was the happiest moment ever in the 30 years of his working life. This might sound strange, but words stay with us more than money or bonus. Someone might say his mother's kind words made him happier than when receiving money from her, or a president's words made them happier than when they received a bonus from him. So words stay in humans' hearts. Some people might say they never forget some cruel words until they die. Such negative words also remain in their hearts. Both kinds of words remain. So words are very important. And words can make people happy more than money, knowledge, or skills. For example, you could say to your family living under the same roof, or colleagues, "How are you?" Or "Are you okay?" or "Good morning," even though those words may seem trivial. Those words play a role in establishing human relationship as a lubricant. You could give such words to people even if you might say you don't have anything. You can just try to be conscious of it and not to neglect it so you can give something to others. Shinsei, giving through the body. The fourth tip is shinsei, meaning giving through the body or do a physical work for someone. A lot of people helped with removing debris as volunteer staffs when the 2011 Tohoku earthquake happened. This is also shinsei, giving with their bodies. Actually, I've been clearing the snow around my house because it is snowing heavily. Snow clearing is interesting. My apartment has a parking lot, but without a roof or anything that melts snow. Cars are parked like this. My car gets completely covered with snow. So is a car next to mine. This just looks like a small hill or giant worm from Nausicaa, the animation movie. So we have to dig the car out of snow. Then where should we move the snow? If I don't consider for other people, I would move the snow here and there. Then this person has to remove more snow. Or if there is a house here and I move the snow close to the house, someone living in this house would have trouble getting out. It's a little troublesome, but we move the snow to the river across the street and dump the snow there. People in Toyama Prefecture or Hokuriku region, the northwestern part of Japan, can go out of their way to do that. I guess it would be easier for them to just push the snow aside and move their cars. And I also feel like doing so. But we don't do it. I wonder why. But I guess they do it because their parents taught them what to do in a snow country. They go all the way here, dump the snow because they think they shouldn't cause troubles to their neighbors. Or rather, someone removes not only snow around their car, but also one near my car. I think this is wonderful. There is a lot for me to learn from this. I feel it is the spirit of the snow country to help each other. It can be taxing to do some physical work for someone. For example, helping an elderly with carrying her baggage, or helping a person in a wheelchair with getting upstairs. Something like that. This is something you can give through your body without money or any skills. This is the act of giving that the Buddha teaches. Shinsei, the gift of the heart. The fifth tip is shinsei, meaning saying thank you from the bottom of your heart. The word thank you means to give sincere appreciation. Shinsei literally means giving your heart. This is how it's taught in Buddhism. How many times do you usually say thank you? If you have a partner or children, how often do you say thank you to them? Many parents tell off their kids, but few of parents say thank you to them when they do something for their parents. I heard kids grow and learn much better when they are appreciated than when they are told off. Parents rarely say thank you to their children, and children rarely say thank you to their parents either. They don't say thank you even when they receive money from their parents. How many times do you say thank you to your parents? Or how many times do you say thank you to your children? Thank you is the top word that people want to remember the 21st century with. The word thank you can make people feel all their effort paid off and make them happy. But in reality, only a few parents and children say thank you to each other. The same goes for couples. How many times does a husband say thank you to his wife? He might think he is the one who always gives her his salary and supports the family. But the word thank you could make her happier than receiving money from her husband. This is how much thank you gives people happiness. How many times does a wife say thank you to her husband? She might say she does cooking and a lot of housework for him. And I think it's a much harder job. But thank you could make her husband happier than anything else. So, the word thank you makes us happy. You don't need these things. Everyone can do it because they only need to give words of sincere appreciation. This is called shinsei, the gift of the heart, in Buddhism. Shozase, giving one's place to others. The sixth tip is shozase, meaning to give your seat or place. In the train, you give your seat to a pregnant woman or an elderly. This is shozase. Or let's say you're driving a car and see that someone wants to get into the same lane. This car has stopped at the signal and you leave some space for the car and honk to say go ahead. Then he comes in and flashes hazard lights to say thank you. Some drivers might stop and let you in, but others might not leave any space for you to go in. In this case, letting a car in before you is chose-a-say, act of giving your place. However trivial it may seem, kindness to give your seat or place to someone in need is chose-a-say. Also, letting someone take credit for a success or letting someone take over your position or job is chose-a-say. Many people seem to claim credit for the accomplishments of others. You will be adored and looked up to if you are able to say that the credit for the achievement all goes to everyone who helped. Bo-sha-se, the gift of shelter. The seventh tip is bo-sha-se, meaning to care for others by giving them some food and a place to stay. It may not be easy for someone to give people food and a place to stay overnight, but there is some act of kindness you can do in the form of caring for others. Takamori Seigo, one of the last influential Japanese samurai, lived a destitute life. One day, his friend Kaishu Katsu, a naval officer and statesman, visited his house. Takamori Seigo asked his wife to entertain and prepare a feast for his friend. So she pawned her favorite koto, Japanese harp, to make some money, and she made a feast with the money. After some drinks, Kaishu Katsu got tipsy and was in a good mood. Then he said, "I heard your wife is a great koto player. Can she play some for me?" Then Saigo asked her to play the koto, but she'd given it to the pawn shop. So she rushed to the shop and gave her clothes and got back the koto. But then she didn't have decent clothes and played the koto behind a partition. Later, Kaishu Katsu realized how poor they were, and they still gave the lavish hospitality to him. He felt so apologetic and deeply thankful for his friendship. It is said that thanks to this event, the bloodless surrender of Edojo Castle was achieved by talks between Takamori Saigo and Kaishu Katsu. Such an act of giving food and place to stay is called bo-sha-se. Today, I talked about 7 types of non-material giving. Without money, skills, or certificates, you can give or do some act of kindness for others. You only need to be conscious of it. This is taught in the Buddhist sutra called the Storehouse of Sundry Valuables. As this is something anyone can practice and do by only being conscious of it, we could say they are the good tips on how to be liked by others. From today on, you can try and practice 1 or 2 of them that you think you could do. From the moment you start, your life will change for the better. I'd like you to keep in mind and practice them. On this channel, I talk about something related to Buddhism. For those who might have thought it was interesting or helpful, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching this video.